Hello and welcome to another episode of Anniversary Edition. Today we are going to be talking about Creature from the Black Lagoon. So it's celebrating its 65th anniversary this year. As always, we are going to spoil the film, so do go away and watch it and then come back and have a little listen. I'm Sophie and I am here today with Adam.
Hey, how's it going?
And Tom.
Hello.
Hello. So this is a 1954 American creature feature film directed by Jack Arnold.
Any relation?
No, sadly.
Are you sure?
I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe.
I think you need to research that.
Shall I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just kind of like cling on to fame.
Yeah.
So speaking of the Amazon rainforest, so I've written a little blurb.
Okay.
A group of scientists head into the Amazon rainforest in search of a fossil, but find much more than they bargained for.
Wow.
Ooh.
Ooh. You set up the drama
I
there.
know.
You
Yeah.
set the scene.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, you're
It's
welcome.
unbelievable.
So I hadn't seen this film before. Top line thoughts. It was impressive to me because this was filmed originally in 3D and I didn't know that before we started watching it, and I was impressed because in my head I kind of wasn't ever expecting a film from that era to have been filmed in 3D.
Yeah.
In my ignorance, I suppose.
I think there was a lot around this time it was aimed at like the drive-in teenagers because it was, the 50s, the emergence of the teenager.
Yeah.
They wanted
Drive-in cinema.
sex, violence, and filming gimmicks, and
Yes.
get bums on seats and exploit that teenage market.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was kind of impressed. I liked it more than I thought I would.
Okay.
But I didn't love it.
Okay.
What about you guys, Tom?
Top line thoughts.
Yeah.
Like you, I was impressed. I was impressed by how it was made.
Yes.
Like, some of the stuff we'll get into later on, but
Yeah.
there's elements of it I thought were really, really, really spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked it,
Okay.
but I think it's difficult. I really like it. It's flawed, but I really like it.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah. Adam, top line thoughts. What did you kind of think initially?
It's a terribly abrupt film. We had the benefit of watching it HD 3D. If you can get it on Blu-ray today,
Yeah.
it really does look fantastic. And what's strange is that here's a film from 1954 that could teach a lot of directors nowadays that shooting for 3D really can pay off. And it also shames a lot of films that post-convert because some of the scenes in this film are really well done in 3D. Some of them aren't really well done in 3D, but that's just that's just,
It's a definite
fail
mixed bag.
to guard
Yes.
against the format itself.
Yeah.
So sometimes your eyes will just cross,
Yeah.
which should be weird. The movie itself I think it's an attempt at just being a bit of fun.
Yeah.
There's no real lesson to be learned here. The film just ends. None of the characters have any real satisfying arcs. It is what it is. It's a pantomime.
It's probably the quintessential popcorn movie, right? I mean, it's that's exactly what it's
No, go
designed
watch
to
a
do.
Marvel movie. Honestly, I don't want to lie to my audience here.
I kind of agree with you, Tom, in that I think it's like you say, it's a quintessential. I don't know if I would, say it deserves popcorn, but it's your
if you spent popcorn money on Creature from the Black Lagoon, you've overinvested.
Well, I mean, yeah,
It just kind of does what it
maybe
says
not
on the
now,
tin.
but in 1954,
Yeah, it
You
probably would have
absolutely would.
been because I mean,
Sure.
also we've talked about this quite a few times, but we're used to so much more intensity in horror films and dramas and scary films that we watch now, and when the hand kind of comes up,
yeah,
They
From
reused
the
that
lake.
shot twice. in the
Yeah, they
opening
do.
yeah,
10
they do,
minutes,
and it's
the
like
movie
it's
is
not
bad.
scary
No.
in any way. It's comical.
They have
to
to
us.
use the music.
They have to use the music, but the music is comical as well because it's such a cliche for us.
Yeah.
So, but I think it does what it says on the tin. It's a creature from the Black Lagoon, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Jack Arnold said that what he wanted to create was a sense of dread that in any kind of dark water, there may be something in there.
Something lurking.
Do you think he achieved that?
No, not really.
No,
I don't
I mean, I mean, quite possibly for a 1950s audience.
Yeah.
For us now, I'm not so sure. And I think the reason he didn't achieve that is that he didn't, you see too much of the monster too quickly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also, you get quite a lot of empathy for the monster.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to remake this film, which I think will potentially happen.
On IMDb, there is a listing that says Creature from the Black Lagoon in development.
Yeah.
We know
so there's no other information about that.
Universal Pictures are semi-keen on remaking these creature features they've got the rights to. But if they were to remake this film, the Creature from the Black Lagoon would be the hero of the piece.
I think you'd kind of have to make it. Like, I mean,
as it is, like if you followed the plot line and all that kind of stuff, he kind of is. I felt sorry for him.
He was like a puppy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's a puppy that took a shine into this girl.
Yeah.
And wanted to hang out with her, and suddenly he was getting shot at a lot.
Yeah.
In fairness, he did kill some people.
He did, but he didn't hurt her.
No.
He he lies her down on the rock at the end to kind of let her recover.
Yeah.
And he's just off
the smoke
chilling out.
machine on. He sets a romantic mood.
I just kind of feel like, it's funny, but quite often we talk about having a villain where you want to give him more character and more depth and things like that. And sometimes that is great and really, really works. And sometimes it really, really doesn't. I think a key point of fact is Halloween, where the more you explore the character of Michael Myers, the worse the films get.
Yes.
When it's just him, man with knife, unstoppable, that's when it's at its best.
Run away, yeah.
And I think Creature from the Black Lagoon needed to be more Michael Myers. And I found it surprising that for a movie of this era and this kind of early, I suppose it's horror in a way, felt the need to really kind of give the audience empathy towards the creature. Whereas in actual fact, what you probably needed for this movie was just a monster.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Agreed.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I guess the same can be said of Frankenstein, but I think that's a bit more of a developed story, right?
Frankenstein is absolutely the story of a monster that you're supposed to feel sorry for.
Exactly, yeah. And I kind of feel they've gone
not Creature from the Black Lagoon, I don't think is.
No.
I don't think it's supposed to be, no, but I think you do.
When this is in a universe or a group of movies, that does include Frankenstein,
Dr. Jekyll,
Dracula,
Mr. Hyde.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. I'm not sure that's technically one of them.
That is.
Is it?
Well, yeah. I mean, he's currently in the new Universal movies.
I don't think that's in the box set that I have. So that's why I'm...
okay, yep.
Invisible Man, Wolfman.
Oh, yep.
Wolfman.
Yeah.
You're supposed to feel sorry for the Wolfman, I think.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I've seen that.
Yeah. One of the things that really... I mean, yes, he is. You feel sorry. You feel too sorry for the creature from the Black Lagoon. But one of the things that really makes me struggle to be worried about this film is I don't know a lot about the Amazon rainforest, but what I do know is that the creature from the Black Lagoon would be pretty low down on your list of scary things that could be in a lagoon in the Amazon rainforest.
Yes.
You do not want to be swimming in the Amazon rainforest. You've seen those videos of people throwing hunks of meat into the Amazon and the piranhas just making the water royal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. There's no threat of like the things that are actually also a threat.
There are far worse things out there than a fish man that could choke you.
Because you see crocodiles or alligators.
Well, you see a couple of it's alligators because they're in Florida.
Yeah.
So well, they shot it in Florida. You see a few alligators, but
but they're quite small, and they're they don't really pose like a threat.
No.
A jaguar could come out of anywhere, just disembowel you.
They mention jaguars, don't they? Because that's what they think
has killed the two guys at the beginning.
Yeah.
boa constrictors, any kind of snakes, tarantulas.
Even that would have like added a little bit more kind of fear and sort of suspense and
I agree.
tension.
I think if you added that element to the film, it would be unbearably scary.
Yeah, because you'd just be on edge like all the time. Because even if just one tiny thing, like where she's, I don't know, you know when the creature from the Blue Lagoon's coming out of the cave thing and he sees her, sorry, Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
Blue Lagoon, very different. The Black Lagoon, and he walks out of the cave area into the grass and she's kind of stood by the tree.
Yeah.
Even if you had her like look up and then see a snake and then just sort of like pull away
Palm
and
trees,
just
tarantulas.
Ooh.
It's tarantulas living.
I mean, anything, just to give it a little bit more context. And then it's like, oh no, she's fine. Oh no, wait, because the creature's behind her as well. Yeah. Just to help build that picture a bit more. But we kind of, I think we've mentioned this, but we all watched this together earlier today. So
we don't often get the opportunity to do that.
This is the first movie we've watched together.
Yeah. It's quite nice.
Yeah.
Watching something and then kind of recording on the same day whilst you still got everything in your head.
Yeah, it's a real feature.
Yeah,
it is. But we obviously watched this in 3D as it was originally intended. Yeah. And I think for all of us, this was the first time we'd all seen this, right?
Yeah, I'd never seen this before. I've had this box set for ages, and I've watched a whole bunch of the other movies in it. All of them are spectacular transfers. Like they look gorgeous.
It's the Universal box set.
Yeah,
it's stunning.
Yeah, and I've been sort of saving Creature from the Black Lagoon because on the disc you can watch it in 2D or 3D, and I think you very much have to be in the mood for a 3D movie. You've got to kind of there's a bit of prep involved.
For it,
yeah, you've got to kind of like get all the glasses, all that kind of stuff. So you kind of got to. It's a bit more of an effort.
Yeah.
In return for a bit more of a spectacle, you would hope.
And the underwater scenes in 3D, some of them, one in particular with the bubbles trailing behind him into the camera, looked really nice.
I have to say, not only did it look amazing, just conversational scenes looked amazing, and the restoration was fantastic. The 3D, it's not often that 3D can enhance a film.
No.
Yeah.
But I think it did in this case.
Yeah. I've only seen 2 other films in 3D. So I saw Gravity.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good film.
Which was
3D,
incredible.
Yeah. Did you see that in the cinema?
I did, because I was absolutely raging that I had to pay £12 because it had been such a long time that I'd been to the cinema. And it was in 3D. And I was like, £12?
Tell you what, though.
What?
You had a great time, didn't you?
I had a great time. It was totally worth it. I love that movie.
Because I've always been of the opinion that actually watching 3D films at home on a good television is a way better experience than seeing 3D movies in the cinema.
I think you're right, because I've also seen Toy Story 3 in 3D. I barely even noticed the 3D element of the film.
A lot of the time that's the case, though.
Yeah, and I was so impressed. That's one of the reasons I think why I was so impressed when watching this, because I couldn't believe how like we said, it's, we've watched a restored version, but how good it looked and how good the 3D filming was.
Yeah, see, a lot of the time, films shot for 3D in this 3D resurgence we've just come out the other side of, they were sort of like when you see a film that was shot for IMAX, they only really think about it with a handful of scenes.
Yeah.
And the rest of it, they just sort of phone in.
Yeah, I think, so for me, 3D works well if you're adding depth.
Yeah.
So essentially, if you think of the screen as the front of the image and then you push things behind it, and then on very rare occasions, something coming towards you, because that tends to be when people kind of go, oh, that's a bit gimmicky.
Yeah.
They use that trope here, but they actually use it on those shots. So like the hand coming towards you and that kind of stuff. And it works because of the way...
Straight out the gate as well.
Yeah.
The fossilized hand reaching out to the audience.
Yeah.
Must have been incredible in 1954.
Well, exactly, yeah. But I thought that, just like the dialogue scenes, just by adding the depth of the jungle behind them,
yes,
it really works.
And you kind of see a bit more of the gravitas of where they are, you know, because you have that.
Yeah. It makes this, some of it they shot on location in Florida and some of it they shot on the backlot at Universal. And it all holds together. And I think the 3D helps because it makes the backlot seem bigger.
Yeah.
Because it's pushing it away from you.
I think it holds together all the way until the final set, the underground cove with the dry ice.
Right.
And the Roman pillars in the background, which is clearly a shot from clearly they've stolen a backdrop from another film somewhere. That made no sense to me that
I'll be out of focus, it'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I did pick up on that because I was like, are we supposed to think... Because the first time I saw that, I was like, is there a city of them? Is there loads more of these creatures that we just haven't seen? And
I mean, if there are, you know...
Well, they built those temples, you know? Yeah. That's what I
mean,
thought.
There's more to explore there in a sequel, perhaps. Maybe that was a hint of things to come.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
There are sequels.
We've talked about how good looking this restoration is and how effective the 3D is. We haven't really mentioned the film itself, the story and the characters.
That's kind of my issue. I was going to ask, like, what's your favourite moment? And I think for me, all of the bits that I enjoyed them watching the most were because of the 3D element. Like, when I try and think about the actual story, I wasn't really that invested in kind of the characters. I wasn't...
No.
I think they make a bit of an error.
Okay.
In the story, and all the way through it. So the main character, you have David, who is a scientist, but he's quite a naturalistic scientist, and he likes the fact that things are in their natural environment, and it's about learning as much as you can without disturbing anything. There's Kay, who is working with him, and we know that she's a brilliant scientist in her own right. Yes. Then there's Mark, who's kind of like the head scientist, but he's the head scientist,
like the money guy. Yeah,
and we know that he's taken credit for some of Kay's work.
Yes.
So he's a bit of the kind of slight bad guy, but things can't happen without him because he's the money essentially.
Yeah.
And then there's Carl, who seems to just be there to smoke a pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't really add much.
And oh wait, no, that's Dr. Thompson actually. Dr. Thompson's the pipe smoker.
Oh,
I can't remember what Carl.
He's the Hammond. Let's be honest, this is Jurassic Park.
So this is what I was like, this
were we all
going to
come around to this
Park.
at some point during this conversation?
Yeah, there are
so many elements that I was like, but it's not like nowhere near as good.
I watched this and thought, damn, they really just sort of did Michael Crichton just watch Creature in the Black Lagoon?
Of course,
think,
I mean,
I'm going to improve this.
This is the first film that Stephen King can remember seeing. Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah, Ingmar Bergman used to watch it every day on his birthday. Every year on his birthday.
Wow.
It's very much Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
A rich old white guy goes up to a bunch of young, sexy scientists and says, I've found this fossil. It's something we've never seen before. And they go there to this place, this remote location. They find out that it's alive, and then they have to escape.
Yeah.
And it's the entire story is Jurassic Park.
It is.
The thing that I think where they make a misstep is so Mark he's the rock star that is in it for the fame and the money.
Yeah.
Seemingly so. There comes a point where they've captured the creature, and he says, let's go back now.
When Mark does. Yes.
And David says, no, let's stay and do some more research and take some more photos.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I kind of think like, that is absolutely what David would want to do.
Yes.
But because that decision leads to so much bad that happens to them, you kind of think...
You kind of need it to be Mark.
You kind of need it to be Mark to make that decision.
Yep.
And David to stay, even if David said, let's go back, get this all, make it safe, and then let's come back with a proper crew and do a dig and... And then Dr. Thompson gets pretty much burnt alive, which was a crazy stunt. Oh my goodness! It was so it looked
the stunts in this are amazing.
Yeah,
really impressive.
And David doesn't care.
And it's kind of like
he has no remorse for the fact that his decision
has
caused so much havoc and.
Because it's literally straight after. It's straight after that section where he comes back and that's what they find.
So I think got loose. All right, let's leave now.
That's the moment where you stop rooting for David because you're like, yes, everyone should be capable of making a bad decision, right? But it seems like
And he does correct it, doesn't he? Doesn't he say afterwards,
he did,
yes, you're right, let's go
now
back.
We should leave, but he only decides to leave once the monster's gone. And then by that point, the audience is like, well, don't just leave with nothing now.
Yes.
Yeah. So that for me is the kind of really awkward misstep where you kind of, the person you're supposed to be on side with and rooting for, kind of just, you're like, you've screwed this up, haven't you? And
I think that's really fair,
manslaughter.
Almost,
I mean,
we don't know if he dies, do we? Dr. Thompson.
No, because he's alive at the end of the film.
Yeah.
But they do say he might not make it.
Yeah, they
if
do,
he gets an infection, absolutely.
In the Amazon rainforest.
Unlikely.
Probably,
Famously sterile Amazon rainforest.
I feel like that's the problem, is that, like you say, you end up actually, with the exception of Kay, not really liking any of the characters.
Yeah.
Oh, the exception of Kay and Lucas.
I was on the side of Mark.
Were you really?
Yeah. He was an action man, aside from the fact he was stealing Kay's work. But we never actually see him do that.
And wanted to kill the creature straight away.
Kill the creature. Why not kill the creature?
Because it's not doing it.
I mean, morally, it's a morally grey move.
It has already killed 2 people.
Yes, by the time that he knows it exists.
But so is a jaguar. So is a
it's just a wild
an alligator.
You would kill a jaguar if you are made camp in the Amazon rainforest and a jaguar kills 2 people.
Yeah,
you would be like, "Give me a gun, please." If I see a jaguar, I'll shoot it, and it will save lives.
I'd be like, get me a helicopter, please.
Only because, like, you understand what that is, and you know there is a population of them, and you know what they are. Whereas this, it's not. It's something completely unknown.
This isn't some Peter situation where you would give up your life to preserve a potentially endangered species.
No, but you would.
But he does.
I think you would try and be responsible. I don't think you would go and kill it, right? You would want to know what it is and want to understand it.
Their first swim. That he shoots, that Mark shoots and gets it in its back? Is it in its side?
He gets shot in the back rear kidney, and then the gut.
Okay, so the first time Mark shoots it hasn't really done anything. It swam.
Doesn't even bleed.
It swam past them. They thought they saw it. They thought they got a photograph. Is that right? And then he carries on.
Well, it has killed the 2 assistants.
Yes, but it turned. Basically, I think Mark's swimming behind David, and then he basically turns around because he's seen it, I think. But then he actively goes and swims after it, even though it's swimming away, and then shoots it in the back.
He's a hunter.
That's what I don't like.
He's a hunter. It's what he does.
But it's not what he should be doing because he's a scientist.
He's a scientist. He shouldn't be a hunter.
If
Oh no, I take this on board. He's not the greatest scientist in the world.
No, sure.
But this is a guy who wants his name to go down in history. The reason I like Mark is because I understand Mark.
Right.
Mark is at any point in this film true to himself.
That is true. That is absolutely. But he should be Muldoon from Jurassic Park.
He should be Muldoon from Jurassic Park.
He should be a gamekeeper that's been told or whatever. He should be
dangerous.
He should be the security,
or
not
the money man, but who wants to be involved. He would work in that environment. But the fact that he's actually a respected scientist as well, it kind of just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
But like you say, it's really interesting, Adam, because you like him because you understand him. Because something that you've said as well, Tom, I don't really get David.
I
don't get his decisions.
No, I totally get him. It's just that one decision.
Yeah. But then he changes his mind so quickly. It's like one more person being dead means now we have to leave. Whereas 3 or 4 people, I'm fine with that.
Well, he was only upset when the 4th one died because the 4th one was a scientist.
Yes.
He didn't give one care in all the world for the people who weren't trained, who weren't intelligent people.
Yeah, because he said a line, didn't he?
Local
about something
hires.
like... Yeah, and he says, "Oh
no, that one was a good man.
Now we've lost someone respected or something. Someone
something
wise
like,
or something.
Intelligent and widely respected or something like that.
Yeah.
We lost a lot of
and it's
information.
like, but actually, there were 2 people in the tent. There was the 2 brothers are both dead by that point as well, aren't they?
Yeah,
that's true.
So it's 4. So he's the 5th.
Yeah.
So 4 people have died, and he's like, "Nah, I'm good."
David's a bit of a knob, really, isn't he?
He's just not. I don't know. I didn't.
And then
him.
Rewind towards the beginning of the film where they're considering going down to the Black Lagoon, having found the fossil and not much else. Mm-hmm. And they talk about going down to the Black Lagoon, and Mark says, "Yes, well, let's go." Is it David who says, "Well, I don't know about bringing a woman"?
It is, yes.
It is, yeah. And Mark's like, no, she can take care of herself. She's fine.
Yeah.
See, go Mark.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Can we
great.
be Team Mark for a second?
I mean, I'm not averse to being Team Mark.
The only thing that he does that's bad, that paints him as the baddie of the piece, is decide that he wants to permanently subdue the creature from the Black Lagoon.
It's a trophy for him.
He's a trophy
hunter.
That's what I don't like.
Yeah.
He wants to take that back to whichever scientific body there is and say, here it is, there we go, the missing fish link.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really it's just a dead evolutionary end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll accept my Nobel Prize now, thank you very much.
But I respect him more.
That's $1 million.
Yeah, I respect him more for saying that when they had it on board, oh, let's go back because, we're done.
Yeah.
I actually think, do you know what? Yeah, because you wanted to become famous from finding the most incredible thing anyone's found so far. So, I mean, that just makes sense. Yes, do
what
it.
Does David want?
Go back.
David wants to go and
Collect
date
rocks.
Learn more.
Yeah.
He wants to know more. He wants to know what it is, why it's there, where it's come from, which I relate to that more.
Well, but then, what have you done? You've left your girlfriend and one other guy on a boat with a monster that
I'm not saying
cut
it's
its way out of a net, a heavy-duty net.
I'm not saying it's a good decision.
With its claws in a bamboo cage. You have left your girlfriend to die.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a good decision. I'm just saying I understand. Like, I mean, I kind of see where he's coming from.
You understand his craving for for
he can
knowledge.
Go back. Yeah. He can go back.
Yeah.
And that's
He's
my
left his
issue.
girlfriend
I'm like,
to die.
you can just go back. Like, go back, make it safe, as far as you know.
Yeah.
And then,
So you've got David here who's willing to sacrifice everyone he knows and loves in the pursuit of knowledge. And then you've got Mark who wants to save everyone he knows and loves in the pursuit of wealth.
Yeah.
And fame. I know whose team I'm on.
I think it's difficult because you are set up to obviously be team David, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be, because
I think
he wants to marry the girl and the girl wants to marry him.
What they should have done then is make it so that David's always the voice of reason. So when Mark catches one, he should be, let's find more.
Yeah.
And David's like, no, let's regroup.
Yes.
Like you say, because
And
that's
then
the
Mark
sensible
says,
decision.
No, I'm the money, you stay. And David says, well, my hands are tied.
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada.
People die.
People die.
It's Mark's fault. He gets his comeuppance.
That would be the right way to do it.
There's really easy ways to correct it so that you stay on David's side and that you make
On the other hand, are we arguing to make this film even more simplistic than it already is?
Yeah. Because I think that the whole point of this is the more simplistic you make it, the better it is because of what it's trying to be.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yes.
So, like I said, the more you explore the character of the creature, or the gill man as he's known in the credits, it actually kind of pulls away from that terror and dread because you get empathy.
Exactly, and you can't be on the side of the scientist because you're like, but you've come into his home, attacked him, shot him.
But they're all knobs.
And,
it should be Jaws.
Yeah,
it should be.
It would be
I want to talk about
easier.
Kay.
Yes, I would like to talk about Kay.
So let's talk about Kay. When Carl talks to Kay and they have their moment on the boat just before the creature breaks free of his bondage.
That's Dr. Thompson.
Oh, Dr. Thompson,
Is it Dr. Thompson? I thought we were talking to Carl.
I think so. I'm not sure.
Because Dr. Thompson's... Hang on, let me have a look. Dr. Thompson's the one that gets...
burned alive.
Yeah.
It's Dr. Thompson.
Okay. And he's talking to Kay about David and whether they should be married or not. He's getting very close to her as well. He's really sidling up close. She says something to the effect of, well, I don't know. I love David, but Mark gave you my job.
Yeah, she does say that.
That's a problematic line.
Yep.
Welcome to the mid-20th century and women's roles within it.
Yeah, I mean, she, plus side, 1950s, you've got a young, clearly brilliant scientist.
Yes.
Woman.
She's beautiful too. She's hot.
So here's the thing, there's the downside. She spends most of her time in a swimsuit.
Yeah.
And is just like, oh, well, I might have to go with this guy because he gave me my job. And it's just kind of like,
it's really interesting.
That undermines the whole kind of brilliant scientist thing, doesn't it?
I wanted the scene where she went swimming Imagine if this was made in the 90s and like the Farrelly brothers made this and she goes swimming and she comes out of the water just covered in leeches. The amount of leeches all of those actors must have got. I mean, if it was in the Amazon.
If it was, yeah.
Actually, they would have been eaten alive. They would have had that
Probably.
weird bug that climbs up your penis
Oof.
and lays eggs.
Yeah, that's not nice.
Speaking of Kay.
Kay.
I actually didn't think she was that skimpily dressed that frequently.
No.
Because she's got, when she's talking about, I think how they got, I can't remember. She talks quite a few times with the group and she's in, trousers and like a shirt.
The legs are just out though.
I mean,
a lot of the time.
Twice,
Most of the time.
yeah, but
when she's in her bathing suit, they are.
And
and
in
then
the Amazon rainforest, guys. Come on.
And then I think near the beginning, she's got like little shorts on, hasn't she?
To be fair, I think everyone was dressed far too skimpily for their environ.
Well, yes.
We need hard-wearing wetsuits.
Well, I mean, you would have had, your arms and stuff covered because it would be hot.
It would be hot.
So you'd be in like loose shirts and, that kind of thing. But I didn't think it was that bad.
When you swim, when you're swimming underwater, you know full well when you go snorkeling, everything is razor sharp under the water.
Yeah.
Everything. Mm-hmm. I've cut my feet snorkeling more than I've cut any part of me doing anything else. And I don't even snorkel that often, apart from my emo phase.
I didn't think the balance of Kay's kind of outfits were that
I think
juxtaposed
you have to think
against
about
her
the
character.
1950s.
Yeah.
I mean, it's B movie. I mean, it's the sex appeal.
Mm-hmm.
It's all part of it.
And you look at the shots. I think we were looking at some of the like publicity shots for the film.
Yeah.
And they are way worse than
they're glamour. They're almost like a glamour mag.
It's bad.
Yeah.
But as a character, I thought she was pretty cool. I mean, she's there because she's got a great mind and she's confident and competent.
I just wish at any point she demonstrated her great mind. She's spoken of for having a great mind, but all she ever talks about, even to the other men, is her relationships with the other men.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where it falls down more than the fact that more than the swimsuit
kind of camel toeing a little bit.
I just think if she had, I don't know, been the one to discover something or to see something or to lead a conversation about something, it would have given her a little bit more credit in that environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the role was well realised.
Yeah, very true.
I think all the acting was pretty strong.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah, I thought it was pretty
Some good performances all round.
Yeah, I think
especially the captain of the ship.
Yes, I was going to say I think she and Kay and Lucas are probably my favourite characters. I think he might be my favourite performance.
Lucas is great because he seems to be sort of a silly fisherman.
Yeah,
all the way through. Up until Mark tells him something he doesn't actually like.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well,
and then
that's Mark's
he's got a pocket-sized cutlass.
Yeah, and then he's just like, oh, that's great, but you're wrong.
Yeah,
and I'm going to put a knife to your throat so you know that I'm right.
And he's just like, this is my ship. No.
So to that regard, he may actually be the only character in the film that really has a facet to him.
Yeah,
I think he is. I think he's probably. I enjoyed the times that I saw him on screen.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought he was really good.
Yeah, he's a great little.
Yeah,
he kind of starts off slightly as sort of comic relief.
Yeah,
a bit, but I think he kind of is more than that.
Comic relief afterwards, to be fair.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I wish he'd had a little bit more screen time, and I think when his friends die, if he'd had a bit more.
He looks distraught in that scene, and then the scene moves to a second one, and he's grinning. He's like, "Hey, how's it going, guys?"
Yeah, and kind of the only scenario where you think you wouldn't be upset anymore is like if something was really treacherous and you were having to, fight or flight mode.
I don't think he ever gets put into under that much pressure.
I think I think he's like it. It's his job. He's a guy that runs a boat on the Amazon, and he's the only one who'll go as far as they want him to go. So he's like
he's a bit of a wild man.
I feel like he's not. He's one of those people that enjoys risk.
Yeah,
and he just gets a kick out of being in that environment.
Yeah, Adam, how about you? Who's your favourite character?
Oh, so the captain, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, it's all round.
Absolutely the captain. Although, again, of the leads, it's Mark. I know he's not an honourable guy.
He's all right.
He makes sense as a character.
Yeah.
Which is more than you can say for most of the others.
And we kind of talked about this. I think in terms of like favourite moments and favourite scenes, I think I've said for me it was bits of the 3D elements, really. And we mentioned this at the beginning, but the scene with all the bubbles when they're tracking them through the water, I loved that. I
you're looking really down and you see them,
clever.
two of them swim underneath with like the aqualungs on, and you see the trail of bubbles and it just rises up into the camera and out of the screen, and that was an exceptionally
and actually
good shot.
right at the beginning, I was really impressed.
The hand.
The scene with the hand, yes,
Yeah.
but also the. Oh my goodness! When they're talking and there's narrating.
The opening sequence is like, "This is Earth, 20,000 years ago."
And it's like the ashes and the rock kind of comes out at you. I was like, "Oh,
so if
hello."
you've ever played the original Sid Meier's Civilization, you might find the opening titles, those sort of goofy bitmaps of the Earth coming together. You might find a lot of familiar with the opening titles of Civilization in the opening of Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, because I mean, no, it's like we literally just put it on.
Was without form and void.
Yeah, we were getting used to the 3D element, and then that kind of it's like a volcano eruption of ash and so on, and it came out of the screen. We were all like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, we were like,
"This is actually
this is good."
You know, there's a fair amount of depth to this 3D.
Yeah, absolutely.
But 3D aside, because not everyone has a 3D TV. In fact, if you're sitting at home listening to this and you have a 3D TV, I'd be very surprised because I know I got one. I think Tom got one.
Yeah.
But I don't think in general that was really a technology that got picked up.
Well, there was a period of time where it coincided with, there was a renaissance in 3D.
Yeah.
In the last, within the last 10 years.
5 years ago for 3 years. No, maybe 8 years ago for 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason there was a resurgence in 3D was the film distributors decided that creating film prints of movies was way too costly. So really, the best thing to do would be for all cinema chains to have digital projectors. But all the cinema chains are like, well, why do we need to buy a new projector when this is just fine for us? Because you're paying that cost. It doesn't matter to us, so why should we do it? So the studios were like, well, what if we make everything in 3D that you can't play on your projectors? Wow. And if you want the latest Marvel movie or Transformers movie or whatever and make the big bucks.
It was Avatar in my head.
Yeah, Avatar was one of the big ones.
Yeah, 3D.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of like Tron Legacy and there was a whole kind of raft.
Cinemas get screwed over quite a lot by the film industry, and it gets very tempting for a consumer to say, well, my cinemas become too expensive. They're gouging me too much for popcorn.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, films do, a lot of the time, make a potload of money for the distribs.
Yeah.
And very little of that goes back into the cinema.
So, like rather than creating 6 reels of celluloid per movie costing thousands, we can just send everyone a hard drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was that's why the 3D renaissance happened, because they were really pushing to get that to happen. And of course, they were like, well, we need to kind of maintain this into home ents.
Yeah.
So let's do 3D Blu-rays, 3D TVs. Got really 3D, pushed. Yeah, Drive Angry 3D, great movie. And of course, no one really wanted 3D for 3D's sake.
Here's the problem. Consumers,
they never really wanted it.
Didn't actually want 3D, and they never did.
No
one ever asked for 3D.
No. And it was always, even back in the 50s, it was always a gimmick to get bums on seats. And I think it just so happens that occasionally there are movies that really work.
Absolutely.
Most don't.
Yeah.
There is one, Alfred Hitchcock shot Dial M for Murder in 3D.
Oh, really?
And I have that on 3D Blu-ray. Ooh. And I've never watched it.
Ooh.
But I do feel like I should.
Team viewing.
I feel like we're going to get roped into something
I feel like we are.
But, that's just, it was an experiment that was done.
Yeah.
IMAX seems to be the rage at the moment, which I don't personally like that much, really.
I don't even...
Oh, IMAX. IMAX has been incredibly popular for the longest time. If you're listening to this and you're not sure where my background is, I've been a film journalist for 9 years, and I have been to IMAX to watch a lot of films. There's a thing about the IMAX in London where the journalists will go if we get screenings and we'll all rush to the back seat.
Yeah.
It'll fill up literally from the back forwards.
Yeah.
You don't get this in any other cinema because you're always trying to get the middle seat, because in the middle seat, that's where we go to the screening rooms with very good sound systems. So you're always trying to get into the middle of that impressive Dolby array.
Yeah.
So if you can get in the middle,
it's good.
You get the most brilliant sound you can. In IMAX, the same is true. If you're in the middle, you get the most brilliant sound, but you get such a terrible picture because even at the middle, you're far too close to the screen.
Yeah.
And then by going further away, you negate the need for IMAX.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't really like it. So I think it's just, it's
too big. No one wants to have to move their neck to watch the movie.
No, they don't. No, for sure.
It's awkward. And you're looking up as well a lot of the time because of the way that things are shot.
Yeah.
The heads are always in the top half of a shot.
I think I've only been to see anything IMAX once.
Yeah.
And all I remember is my neck absolutely killing me.
Really?
Yeah. This was like years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I remember.
It's not comfortable.
No,
and
I just hated the experience.
Useful.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
But do you think Creature from the Black Lagoon is shot well 3D aside?
Yes.
Yes.
I think it looks quite good.
Yeah.
I think it does.
I really do.
They're obviously shooting elements specifically for the 3D, like the hands reaching out, that kind of stuff. But like the compositions are really nice. The way it looks is really lovely. What I can't get, the underwater photography in this is astonishing.
Yeah,
how they lit
really
that.
Is.
Exactly. How did they light that? It's crazy. Obviously they must have been working predominantly out of a tank in the back lot.
Yeah.
Which, I assume glass sides and all that kind of stuff you can throw light through. But some of those underwater scenes were just amazing.
They look great. And looking at it, you become aware. Once you find out, and we kind of had it ruined a little bit because we checked that it was in a Florida backlot, but you do become aware that the entire final third of the movie is just sort of almost one shot.
Well, yeah. It's like, there was just the boat against the
backdrop.
Yeah.
It's a boat against a backdrop.
Yeah, because it's stuck in the lagoon and it doesn't move.
Yes.
Good, and there's no reason to move. It's built in such a way you have the best shot you could ask for. Yeah. You don't need more.
No.
I was actually impressed as well at how quickly everything got going in this film.
Yeah.
Because, it's a short film. It's hour 20?
Not even, just under.
Just under. Yeah. So I was kind of impressed that, virtually, what is it, in the first 10 minutes?
Yeah.
They're on their way to go and sort everything out. Whereas if you made that film today, that would take 40 minutes.
Well, Jurassic Park, they leave pretty early on.
But that's not today. See, Jurassic Park is just the best.
Jurassic Park is the best.
Yes.
It's a B movie. So these are times of when you would go and see two movies back to back. Yeah. So the B movie was always going to be shorter, schlockier, lower budget. Yeah. And that's exactly what this does. And I think I was surprised at the level of production that they had.
Yeah, with that in mind.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, this is one of the later Universal monster movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which they started in the 30s. So they've been doing them for 20 years by this point. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we haven't really talked much about the actual creature.
I was just going to say...
We haven't.
I liked the creature credited as the Gill Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. There was one scene where after he's been drugged, the second time or the third time, when they've used the spray, is it?
Oh, yeah.
And he climbs back onto the boat, and all of us were like, "Oh my, he looks mad."
Yeah.
I actually think, kudos to the body language. I guess it's got to be because
it has to be. It's a thick totally rubber suit,
expressionless, facially. So it's all in the breathing and the way the body moves. So really impressive. But I
because they could barely see out of that suit.
Yeah. The way he's gasping for air above water.
Yeah.
That was a really nice touch.
Yeah. I think it's really good. It was the Gillman was played by two different people.
Oh, okay.
A guy called Ben Chapman. He did all the stuff on land.
All right, and who's the guy we're firing?
Wait, just wait. So the other guy was a guy called Riku Browning, and he did all the stuff underwater.
Okay. And
I think some of that stuff is actually some of the best stuff.
Some of it. Yes.
His main claim to fame, alongside being the creature from the Black Lagoon, was he created Flipper.
Wow.
So he was he came from a background of like those kind of like Florida summer camp, holiday camp places doing water shows.
Oh my goodness.
And being like a diver and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because Adam, you said when we were watching this, the swimming was just not great.
He's not a convincing natural water-dwelling creature.
But see,
I'm just looking up this guy. He assistant directed Thunderball.
Well, he would have done, because there's in Thunderball there is a massive underwater fight sequence.
Oh, I see.
Right.
So he would have done that, which is it's an incredible set piece, that underwater fight.
See, I think almost with the kind of the clunky looking swimming, I was watching it thinking that's on purpose.
Yeah,
I think
so. I think it was a character choice.
Yeah, I don't think it looks good.
It sort of looks like he's doggy paddling.
Yeah, but I think if you look at an underwater footage of like a crocodile or an alligator, which he would probably be very familiar with,
They swim very fast though.
They do, but they have a tail.
They could outswim
and
the
their
creature.
legs.
They have a tail to propel them, which he doesn't have.
But their legs do this, like they have.
Yeah,
that's really unhelpful when you're listening. Sorry, everyone.
They do the hula.
Kind of, yeah. And that's kind of what he was trying to do. But he's also then in a really thick rubber suit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he was massively hindered. I'm not going to go out there and say that this professional water actor and stuntman can't swim.
No, but I think
that's not what I'm saying.
No. But when we see it on screen, it doesn't look. It was a different choice would have looked better.
Kay was outswimming him doing the backstroke.
Yeah. In a little chilled vibe.
Nature's bitch stroke.
I think my favourite scene, though, is the fight between Mark and the creature underwater.
Oh, yeah, that is good.
I thought that was amazing. The way they were choreographed, given that, the guy in the creature suit couldn't really see.
Yeah.
That, like, the way they choreographed it and
it's really good.
I mean, he does the whole alligator roll thing where he pulls Mark down to the bottom and tries to like roll him on the bottom of the surface, which is what alligators do to kill their prey. And there's all that kind of stuff. I thought it was really, really cool. And they did the way they swam together.
Yeah, sort of
and sort of tumbled in the air, in the water. I thought was just, it looked amazing.
Yeah, I'd forgotten actually that is a pretty impressive,
pretty good,
impressive scene.
I thought that was the best bit for me, because it was kind of like, here you're seeing, this is where Mark gets his comeuppance for being the action man, and the man who wants to trophy hunt this thing, and it's because he's out of his depth, isn't he? He's in the wrong environment. So I really like that. I think that's my favourite sort of scene. Yeah. Looks great.
Adam, how about you? We didn't kind of talk about your favourite sort of moment or favourite scene.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm really not sure. The things that stand out for me when the creature falls in love with Kay.
Yeah.
First time she does some sort of water aerobics.
Yeah. She does a bit of synchronised swimming.
Causing a suspicious cloud to appear from roughly his waist height. That really stands out, I think.
Yeah. I
quite like the scene, actually. It does all happen in the water. I quite like the scene when the two guys were chasing after the creature for the first time.
Yeah.
One of them's got a super heavy camera.
Yeah.
And the other one is shooting at the creature. That's a bit exciting. A nice little chase.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think any time when the creature gets set on fire, that's really
that is really good.
That is a really cool
another
shot.
Crazy stunt.
It's absolutely crazy stunt. But
they both do, don't they?
Yeah.
Him and Doctor.
It's so bright.
Yeah.
That's about it. I think all in all, we've just sort of ended up with a sort of schlocky creature feature.
Well, that's exactly what it's supposed to be, though, right?
Yeah, it does what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
I suppose. I don't think there's anything here for people who are looking for a surprise.
No,
not at all.
I have to say, this movie we watched was exactly what I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't, it didn't surprise me in any way. I kind of,
It surprised me how quickly they revealed their hand, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
That did surprise me.
That's true. And for me, the 3D element surprised me. I was very impressed with how it looked.
Yeah, aside from that,
it's just a plot and a story.
Yeah.
If you were to tell someone
right.
to watch this today, you would say, watch it in 3D, or probably don't bother because you're not going to get anything out of it.
I feel like
Same.
one of the reasons I really wanted us to do it was because it's so difficult for us to get close to any sort of cinema experience of that era.
Yes.
We're never going to have that experience of sitting in the cinema and seeing colour for the first time. We're never going to have the experience of, like sound for the first time and that kind of stuff. And it was kind of like this is probably the closest we'll get to an old movie and then watching it in the way that the audience would have seen it.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you reckon when colour first came out in cinemas, they were like, oh, actually, this is a bit naff?
No.
Serious question.
I think they loved it.
Because the first time they used colour in movies, it was dreadful.
I think just the fact that it was there.
Saturation was all wrong. The contrast was
I think it would have been
talking,
amazing.
Yeah, and you're talking about people who don't know any better. When you watch movies, you watch with such an expert eye that I think sometimes you don't even realise how much of a
you completely changed my mind, and I agree.
Yeah.
That you have.
And
I'm not being sarcastic at all, because I just remembered seeing polygons for the first time in video games.
Right.
And thinking, man, Gran Turismo is the most realistic looking game. I don't feel like you could possibly get a more realistic looking racing game than that.
Yeah.
It looks just like real cars.
Yeah. And then
bloody don't.
What kind of, I think we've kind of covered this, but what doesn't work about this film?
I think we've covered this.
I think we have covered this. The one thing I will add is that if you're going to shoot in 3D, don't do cross dissolves.
Oh no!
That hurt.
Oh my god, that just threw me completely. It's like, whoa, I don't know what's going on with my eyes here.
Yeah, and they did a lot of shots that were like, oh, we'll have this shrubbery in the foreground.
Yes, that's true.
But we can't focus on it.
No, so it's just this blurring mass that makes you think your eyes are going weird.
Yeah. So when 3D came back, and we were speaking earlier, a handful of years ago, 3D came back into cinemas. People would still make this mistake where they'd shoot a conversation between two people. Each shot would be over someone's shoulder. It would be a giant, dark, blurry object.
Yeah.
And it would be dreadful to look at, because the thing that's in the foreground, most in your face, is out of focus and not lit.
Yeah.
This does it, but that's not to the, it's not to the detriment of Creature from the Black Lagoon in particular.
It's even just a 3D thing.
Even films made 5 years ago for 3D were doing it. It's just because that's how you'd shoot a film in 2D, and probably the director's like, I don't even know how to shoot in 3D at this point.
Probably, I think the best thing I've seen in 3D was the documentary about the Isle of Man TT.
That was good 3D, but only because every time that someone went flying off a cliff, I'm like, oh, he went deep.
Yeah.
I think we've kind of covered most of this stuff. So, is it a good film?
Nah.
I think I would say to like my friends, watch this in 3D.
You're not going to tell your friends to watch.
No, if they want to watch it, I'd be like, watch it in 3D because it's pretty cool what was done in 1954.
I'd say, is it a good film? It's okay. Is it a fun spectacle? Yes.
Other than that, I wouldn't recommend anyone watch this because nothing kind of happens that is.
No, it's a group of mates and a pizza movie.
Yeah.
If you don't mind your mates being annoyed at you, yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's not. If you were watching this in 2D, I absolutely wouldn't. Suggest that you watch this.
No. The half the reason I was quite excited to do this was just because it was the universal creature feature that I knew the least about.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Same here.
So it's always good to...
I think it's because a lot of the other characters, they're more based on like other stories or books
Just
or things like that.
stories
Whereas
that
this,
more-
I don't...
yeah, more
I've
familiar
seen
with.
it.
an almost original thing for a South American boogeyman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I would definitely watch, if there is a new film that's coming out, I would definitely watch that.
Okay.
Well, there we go. That's a wrap on Creature of the Black Lagoon. So next week we are going. Next week, yes, we are going to be talking about Mean Girls. And as you know, obviously our podcast comes out on a Wednesday, and on Wednesdays we wear
pink.
Yes.
Come on, Tom, you know this.
You know
I
that,
do know
Tom.
that. I just,
there we go.
I wasn't quick enough.
So join us then, and wear pink. And we are going to be having a little chat about that. Make sure you start with your friends, but real ones.
Yeah, it's going to be
Hide the
fetch.
bone book. It's going to be fetch. Yes, Tom. It is going to be fetch. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
This podcast was recorded in the Upbeat Studio in Soho. For studio inquiries, drop us an email on studio@upbeatproductions.com. You can also find us on Twitter. Head to @upbeatprod to see what we're up to, and @upbeat_ents for our film coverage and entertainment news.